Hey guys, today I'm just doing a short video to enter a competition that Alton Towers have posted on their website. They posted on their website about a competition in which they are trying to find a blogger/vlogger to do interviews and to do what sort of video blogs and stuff like that for their YouTube channel and for their website. For somebody who is getting into YouTubing and is super into Alton Towers, I thought this would be a really good opportunity for me to get involved in. So the Alton Towers Resort have made a post on their website saying that to enter the competition you have to make a short video saying why you are such a big Alton Towers super fan. As you can probably see from behind me, I'm quite a big Alton Towers super fan, but I'm not going to flash fancy merchandise or tell you all this stuff I've done. So instead I thought I'd tell you a bit about my story and how Alton Towers has completely changed the way I live my entire life. So back in early 2013, I was part of a UTC academy called JCB Academy. They wanted us to do 3 hours of extra education every Wednesday, and I opted to be in the Roller Coaster Design Club. At the time, it was mostly because all my friends were doing it, and I didn't really have a passion for it at the time, but getting into it, it was sort of something I found challenging and interesting, and something I really wanted to be a part of. Something that the group organised to do with us was to go to attend the Science Week at Alton Tower, which we had a short presentation about how some of the coasters worked, with paying reference to science and all that sort of stuff. So in early March 2013, I had my first trip to the Alton Towers Resort. I really didn't know what to expect. You know, when you go to people and ask what they think of when they think of Alton Towers, they think of the big rides and they think of it being the biggest place in the UK for roller coasters, and at the time, being somebody who hadn't been on that sort of thing, it was really terrifying for me to go and do. When we got to the park, I was simply stunned is the word by everything I saw. The Tower Street, the layout of the park, the stunning view on the way in, going from Adventureland all the way down to the Dark Forest. It was simply breathtaking the whole way around. I was amazed, and I knew from that point this is something I wanted to be a part of. I specifically actually remember going into Dark Forest for the first time, and the first thing I did was pull out my phone and I started recording everything because I just wanted to capture how awesome everything was, and I wanted to share it with everybody and say, look at this place, look at what I've found, this is amazing. Nothing really about the park from that perspective though made me really want to come back, and I don't think I would have unless it was from what I call one of the greatest mistakes I have ever made, and that was when stood in Adventureland and my friend asked our entire group, who wants to go on air? I was the only one out of some bizarre instinct to agree. I was absolutely terrified walking across the park, taking the sky ride, going into Forbidden Valley, queuing. I was absolutely terrified, but I thought, this is something I promised to do, I can't get out of it now. Getting on the ride, still terrified. I really didn't know what to expect. It wasn't, because it was air, it was a B&M Flyer, it wasn't something you'd classically expect a roller coaster to look like, so I was like, this is a bit strange, I don't really know what to expect from this. Getting to the sort of chain lift area, I don't think I've ever been that terrified in my entire life. Still, when I go on things now, I don't think I experience anything purely as terrifying as the first time on one of the big roller coasters. Getting more to like the top of the chain lift, I looked down and I saw Nemesis below us, and I saw the view, and I saw the track in front of us, and I knew that we was about to drop off the top of the precipice, and we was about to go on this amazing adventure. And from that moment on, the fear dropped and it was replaced with excitement, enthusiasm. Looking back, I could probably quite literally call that the ride of my life, because it quite literally changed my life. I came off air and I remember running back to our group and saying, I want to do everything, I want to go on absolutely everything, and I want to come back tomorrow, and I want to come back the next day, because this place is amazing and I just want to be a part of it. I unfortunately didn't get to do much because it was already like 10 minutes till closing time, and there was like big queues as there usually is, and unfortunately I didn't get to go on anything else. I did manage to persuade my mum to come back with me later on in the year after the Smiler had opened, so I got to experience all the big rides. I got to experience the Smiler. Unfortunately, Oblivion was closed that day, so I had to wait a bit longer for that, but it has been done, I assure you. But it was ever since that first ride on air that my complete outlook and everything I know just completely changed. When I got home that night, something I'd never done before was sit and watch videos and vlogs about Alton Towers and the roller coasters and the industry and the community, and that's all I did for that entire night. And it was just such a great feeling to have found something that I'm genuinely interested in being a part of. Going to a school that was so close to Alton Towers was extremely helpful because I managed to find some people that were already in my class and were already in the group I was in that were really big members of the Alton Towers fan community, and that really gave me the chance to go forth and to meet new friends and to sort of get into this community so quickly. It was probably around that first time at Alton Towers that I really got friendly with my good friends John Moss and Will Swinson, who introduced me to a lot of the enthusiasts, and they took me with them and they showed me around and they showed me all like the tricks, like the barrel 5 being the fastest and the back left on Nemesis and all these different tricks and how to really experience the park in a really good way. I managed to convince one of my closest friends, James, to come back with me quite a few times, but being not really an enthusiast, he pretty much got sick of me and refused to go after a while, so I knew it was time for me to make new friends in the community. It being such a vast community, I was so worried that my place in the community wasn't going anywhere, that I wasn't going to be able to make anything of it, and that was pretty much the end of it. Now, for me to make such a vast passion and then for it to slowly be sinking was a really, really bad feeling. I don't think if it wasn't for this next part of the story that I would be anywhere in my life that I am today. That being the small charity or Merlin Magic Wand fundraiser that Jerry Cannell, who plays Dr. Carmen in The Sanctuary, and Paul Jones, who is a member of the community, they did a small fundraiser in which they had Jerry sign some photographs and they distributed them to members of the community. My mum managed to get hold of one of these for me for my birthday in 2013. She found them fortunately on, I think it was a Utoxeter trading group or Burton trading group, so it was very lucky that we actually managed to find them. So she bought me one for my birthday. I posted it on Facebook. I was added by Jerry and I was added by Paul, and I thought, something's happening here. I'm getting into the community and I want to do something that will express my passion for this community and for this thing that I'm getting involved in. It was a late night in November, December sort of time. I popped up to my friend Paul, who hosted the Jerry Cannell signed photo giveaway fundraiser, and I said to him, I want to do something completely insane and I want to get hold of every single person who had a signed photo and I want to get them together in one big group where we can sort of be like a sub-community. And it was that night that I created what was at the time the Jerry Cannell signed photo group, and it managed to get quite popular. I managed to get a few people interested in the first day just by sending people messages that I'd found them, because everybody was posting their photos and sort of tagging Jerry and Paul, so I found them through their tags and sort of messaged them and got them involved, and a lot of people were really excited about it. To this day, that is still what I look back on as my entry into the community. That is how I met everybody, that is how I know everybody. That is, without that group I would not be here today. I would have drifted off and I would have been into something else, which I can't possibly imagine doing. Through that group, one of the most exciting developments that came about was I messaged who I thought at the time was a completely mad Scottish lady called Rebecca. Rebecca was one of the members of the Jerry Cannell signed photo group. She was one of the first people to get her signed photo and to post it and sort of tag Jerry and Paul and everybody like that. So I was like, I will add Rebecca and see if she wants to come in. I also managed to get a few other people involved. My friend Will got involved. Obviously, Paul had his signed photo, so I managed to meet him. Through Rebecca, I also met somebody called Jamie Warner, and throughout the 2014 season, me, Jamie, Will, Paul, we sort of hung about and we made friends and we gathered a bit of popularity within the community, started to know people and to really start doing a lot of incredible things. Over 2014 season, we met up a lot of the time and just experienced the place. We weren't there to be popular, we weren't there to make money, we were just there to have fun and to just make friends, and that is exactly what happened. 2014 therefore was probably the best season I've had so far for Alton Towers. Everything was phenomenal. I met so many people, I had so many great experiences, and my whole life was changed because of it. Into more of the 2015 season, we have sort of started to grow our friendship group. We are now such a big friendship group. Going back to with my friend Rebecca, we now have loads of people from Henry Buxton, Rhiannon Bartle, Adam Lines, Paul Jones, Will Donahue, who owns Theme Park Fans. It's such a big group of friends, and I honestly would not have made them if I didn't come to Alton Towers. So I am 100% a super fan because of that. What happened this season for me was extremely exciting was a little event called the Nemesis 21st event. Similar to this competition, Alton Towers posted about them wanting to do a celebration for their ride Nemesis that was hitting 21 years old that year, or this year. They were hosting a small event where they were going to get John Wardley to come and do some talks, and Andy Hines and Gil Riley, and I thought, this has got to happen, I've got to be a part of this. So I sent off my email, I applied, and thank God I actually got a place in what was said to be the biggest thing of the season, and possibly the biggest thing for the next like 2-3 years. So I went there, and out of a complete and utter surprise, Nick Varney decided to attend, which was something I was not expecting. I'm a big fan of Merlin, and a big fan of Alton Towers, and a big fan of the rides and everything they do, so to get to meet John Wardley and Nick Varney in the same place, and to get to have a photo with them, and all this stuff was absolutely mind-blowing, and that was the key defining point of this season for me. What came with that night mostly though was listening to Nick Varney talk about Alton Towers as more of a serious business, and it started to make me think, instead of just being this place we go to muck about at and have fun, which was what we like to do, but I can actually turn this into a serious career. So I started looking about and researching the industry and getting into like more industry whole sort of experiences, like looking at going to the IAPA sort of conferences and looking at the Attractions Worldwide magazines, but they are very expensive. I have started to look at ways that I can become part of the industry and part of Alton Towers, and seeing where I can take my passion to make the industry and to make the way that people think about the industry a lot better. I've started to look into college courses, university courses. I'm 100% excited to go into university and get a place, hopefully, in the Attractions and Resort Management course that Alton Towers are heading, which with the work experience and everything is really, really great. It looks amazing. In more recent ways, I'm figuring out college courses such as travel and tourism to sort of like get into the industry before I go into the next big step of it, of course. To sort of summarise it all up, like the reason that I'm such a big Alton Towers superfan is because Alton Towers has not only given me career aspects for the future, it's not only given me a clear vision, it has given me some of the best friends I could possibly ever hope for, some of the best memories I could ever have created, a passion. It has given me all of this merchandise. It's just 100% one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of. Any experience in the world that can give you such an uplifting sort of lifestyle and being part of like such an uplifting community is definitely something that will turn you into a superfan, and it has turned me into a pretty crazed superfan. So to like answer the question, why am I such a big Alton Towers superfan? I suppose you could say because once you've experienced the magic that Alton Towers truly is, there is no going back, and there is only up from there on. I hope what I just tried to say makes sense. I was like trying to explain that Alton Towers for me is something much more than a theme park. It's a way of life, it's a lifestyle that you choose, it's a community that you're a part of, and it's a source of friendship and a source of adventure and escape, which is something that everybody in the world possibly needs in their life. I hope this made sense. I hope you understand from what I've said, like why I'm such a big super fan. It's not just because of the rides, and it's not just because of the park or the way it's operated, it is because of the magic that is Alton Towers. If you are from Alton Towers, hi, I hope this made sense. I'm just trying to get across that as a point of view from me, this opportunity would be amazing for me, because it's not only an amazing thing to be a part of, it is a huge career boost and something that I can look at seriously for my future. So I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you enjoyed my backdrop. I'll tag the link to that video because it's not mine, it is a short POV of CBeebies Lands. So thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you'll subscribe and come back next time for my next video. Thanks guys, bye!